Stop number 19 on the Castrol GTX Cup Series brings us to Kentucky Speedway. It's the running of the Quaker State 400 as we are almost at the halfway point of the season. Hard to believe, really. What's been a great season so far here in season 16. As we approach the second half of the year, we expect to see more of the same here. And we'll see. Let's see what happens here this weekend as we get to the starting lineup for today's event. Qualifying rained out here at Kentucky Speedway, so the starting lineup will be determined by car number. And on the pole for today's event, it's Trent Dunham, the number 1 Skull Classic Oldsmobile. He's on the pole for today's event. He'll be alongside in the Skull Classic Oldsmobile car number 1. Alongside of him will be the winner at Rockingham, Dylan Young, the number 2 Miller Genuine Draft Ford. Row 2 has the number 3 GM Goodwrench Chevrolet of Michael Norman. Alongside of him, the number 4 Kodak Film Chevrolet, it's Paul Minnick. Third row, Andrew Perry, the number 5 Levi Garrett Chevrolet. He'll be alongside John Arndt, the winner of the All-Star Race, in the Valvoline Ford, car number 6. Then it's Cole Diva, the number 7 Xerox Antifreeze Ford, car number 7. He'll be on the inside of the 4th row. Alongside of him will be the number 8 Snickers Buick of Chris Dodd, 2-time winner season, the Daytona 500 and Talladega. Then it's Jessica Shelton inside of row number 5, the winner at Sonoma, the number 9 Coors Melling Ford. She'll be alongside the number 10 Tide Ford of J.T. Bryant. Row 6 has Zach Winkle, the number 11 Budweiser Ford. Alongside of him will be Joshua Sakuli, the Ray Bessis Buick, car number 12. Row 7, Jeremy Jones, the Copenhagen Oldsmobile, car number 14 for A.J. Foyt. Beside him will be Matt Dalio, the Motorcraft Ford, car number 15. Row 8 has Dalton Day, the number 20 Crown Petroleum Oldsmobile, inside of the 8th row. And the winner at Michigan this season, Quentin Moore, the Citgo Ford, car number 21. Row 9 has the Maxwell House Ford, car number 22 of Sky Commons. He'll be alongside the winner at Bristol this season, Charles Sanford, the DuPont Chevrolet, car number 24. Row number 10 has the number 25 Kodiak Chevrolet of Daniel Olson. Has been close to a few wins this season. Hopes to get one here pretty soon. Maybe today, who knows. He'll be alongside Chelsea Bowles, the Quaker State Buick, car number 26. Row number 11 has the number 27 Kodiak Pontiac of Benjamin Miles. He'll be alongside Johnny Gardner, number 28 Texaco Haviland Ford. Row 12 has Zachary Fitzwater, the number 29 Hardee's Oldsmobile. He'll be alongside North Wilkesboro winner Ryan George, the number 30 Pennzoil Pontiac. Row 13 has one of the Kentucky boys, Dylan Poteet, in the number 31 Mom and Pop Chevrolet. And he'll be flanked by the number 33 Skull Bandit Oldsmobile of John Gilbert. Next row down has Kyle Matthews, number 42 Meliella Pontiac, 2-time winner this season at California and Martinsville. Joshua Collard has alongside of him the 43 STP Pontiac. Then it's Seth Cole, number 52 Alka-Seltzer Pontiac. He'll be alongside Riverside winner Chris Dollerton in the Skull Crown Oldsmobile, car number 55. Then it's Kev Shearer, another 2-time winner this season, the Heinz 57 Pontiac. He won the season at Richmond and at Charlotte in the 600. He'll be alongside Nick Johnson, the Phillips 66 Trop Arctic Pontiac. Then it's Amari Steinemer Jr., the number 68 Country Time Oldsmobile, and alongside of him will be Zed Weinstein, this number 70 Rumpel Furniture Pontiac. Next row down has the Lifeboy Chevrolet car 71 of Jonathan Zorlin, the winner at Texas, and alongside of him the winner at Atlanta, the number 75 Valvoline Pontiac of Cole Baker. Then it's Keith Batson, the number 88 Texaco Haviland, number 88 Quality Care Service Ford Credit Ford. Beside him will be Pocono winner Jesse Turner, the number 94 Sunoco Ultra Oldsmobile. And shotgun in the field, Levi McIntyre, the Dover winner, the 99 Exide Barrios Ford.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
And the field fans begin the party engine, so we get some racing here today. I would be missed, actually, if I didn't mention one row had Dawson Wise in the 18 Interstate Barriers Chevrolet, and he's outside of Joshua Osborne, the Darlington winner in the 17 Western Auto Chevrolet. That row I admittedly missed, and that was row number 7, I believe. No, that was row number 8, actually, not 7. That was row number 8 in the field. So, apologies that I missed that row on the starting lineup. The pace car ducks off on the pit road. Dylan Young's won at Rocket Canyon this season. Trent Dunham has not yet won a race this season. The green flag race are underway here at Kentucky. level 41 laps of distance here today in this race here, as the track here has been kind of weird here. It's kind of a narrow, it's kind of a mystery groove in some ways. This Kentucky track there. Now the INI, I don't know if that's been changed or not. I'm probably going to need some help with the track INI. If anybody knows, please let me know. Because there has been some boring races in Kentucky in my series, and then everybody else's series seems to have excellent races here. But nonetheless, Trent Dunham leads the race here. Second is Michael Norman. Third is Paul Minnick. In the number 4 car, battle for 4th going on between Andrew Perry and John Arndt. In the 6th car, Dylan Young, the outside poster sitter, has dropped to about 7th or 8th. Now Chris Dodd goes outside of John Arndt as Michael Norman tried to take a look for the lead, and he could not do it. And now Andrew Perry in the 5 car goes to the outside, I should say, of Paul Minnick. Minnick now tries again for the 2nd spot. And Perry tries to shove Norman by him. Now Dylan Young joins in on the fun in that number 2 car. Meanwhile, Cole Deaver goes inside of JT Bryant and John Arndt. Deaver up to trying to move his way up through the field. And it seems like the outside lane is actually the preferred group here in Kentucky, for sure. Here, as you see right there, John Arndt and Zach Winkle, Joshua Osborne trying to make it work here. Now Osborne goes to the inside of the lane here, and meanwhile Michael Norman tries again for the lead on Trent Dunham. I think to kind of take the lead here in Kentucky, it's gonna take a little bit of a drafting help here on this racetrack. Now whether they're gonna have to do it on the outside or the inside, it's gonna be a question. They may have to do it on the outside, possibly. Norman has been running strong here in the last, has been coming on lately here as far as a good run is concerned. He finished well the last stop on the tour at Sonoma. So the field lining up here, JT Bryant making his way through the field rather very, very nicely. He's up to the 7th position. Up to the 6th position, I should say, excuse me. And we got problems coming out of turn number 4. And it's the 28 of Johnny Gardner that has spun. And we got more problems here in turns 1 and 2. Kev Shearer and Joshua Collard has spun. I think Benjamin Miles might have spun in the 27 car. A caution coming out on lap number 7 of this race. And I think Matt Dalio might have spun as well in the 15 car. Let's take a look against what happened in replay. Gardner was running 17th when it all happened, though. He was being followed by Kyle Matthews and Charles Sanford. They came out of turn number 4. Gardner was not quite clear of the 15 of Matt Dalio, or either that or Dalio tried to come up on Gardner, and Dalio slams into Gardner hard, or both cars slammed the wall hard, I should say. While that happened, it looked like the 57 and the 43 might have gotten into each other here. This happened in turn number 1. And I think Collard might have tapped Benjamin Miles, or thought, yeah, Gardner just shoves Benjamin Miles up the track and right into Shear's car. And all three of those cars take a hard pop, and Benjamin Miles almost came right down on Cole Baker in the 75. All three cars making unscheduled pit stops. Joshua Collard just now coming out of pit road here about... Collard leaving the pit, so does Matt Dallio, Gardner, and Shear as well. So all three of them returning to the track and trying to make a go of it. So the first caution happening on lap number 7 of this race here. Benjamin Miles, the only car out of the race with a camshaft problem. But for all intents and purposes, it's an engine problem. Trent Dunham leads the race. Second position is Andrew Perry. Third spot is Michael Norman. Fourth is Paul Minnick. Dylan Young in fifth. Sixth is JT Bryant. Chris Dodd seventh. Eighth is John Arndt. Ninth, Cole Deaver. 10th is Joshua Osborne. That's the way they run as the field gets set for restart on lap number 12. Zach Winkle's 11th. 12th, Joshua Sakuli. Quentin Moore 13th. 14th, Jeremy Jones. And Jessica Shelton running in 15th position. The green flag waves, so we're back underway on lap number 12. And already 3 wide for position are Paul Minnick, Dylan Young, and JT Bryant trying to draft off the 3 of Michael Norman. And meanwhile, Andrew Perry going for the lead in car number 5. He's alongside Dunham. Perry has a slight advantage to the 3rd and 4th turns now. Dunham may have the outside lane to his advantage, but Perry moves up the track, and Andrew Perry leads the lap here. He'll be the 2nd leader of the day. As Michael Norman now goes to the inside in the 3 car. Let's see what he does. And it seems like turn 3 is where you make your runs at. I think that's what it looks like here. As we have our first real challenge for the lead. Dunham tries the high side. It has to back off the gas. And now here comes Norman to the inside of JT Bryant. Coming out of the 4th turn. And now Cole Deaver decides he wants to join in on the fun in that 7 car. And now Bryant, who takes 2nd, now goes for the second, or tries to take 2nd, I should say. He took 3rd recently, actually. And meanwhile, a gaggle of cars behind. John Arndt, Joshua Osborne, Joshua Sakuli, Quentin Moore, and goes up the track almost into Shelton and Winkle. And meanwhile, Trent Dunham tries for the lead again at 1 car, and he had the lead by just a smidgen over Andrew Perry, but Perry fights back on the outside of the racetrack. Now JT Bryant goes with him in the 10 car. And meanwhile, Trent Dunham has his buddy Michael Norman right behind him in the 3 car. Battling inside of Dylan Young. Now JT Bryant wants to become the 3rd leader of the day here. Off corner number 4. Who leads this lap? The 5 or the 10? The 5 does. Just excellent racing we're seeing here in Kentucky right at the moment here, as after the yellow flag is flown here. On board, Jessica Shelton's car in the number 9 machine as she follows behind Zach Winkle, Chris Dodd, Paul Minnick up the track here as Minnick goes the inside of the 7 car of Cole Deaver. Some cars dipping the apron just a little bit here. Shelton clocked in the 10th spot the last time by. She came in the race, the championship leader after winning at Sonoma, the last stop on the tour. Here comes Dylan Young now wants to try for the lead. In car number 2, remember he was the outside pole sitter for the event. Dunham was the pole sitter. Bryant trying to look to the inside again, the 10 machine. Norman goes up the track in the 3 car here. About to lose a few spots here. 1 to Paul Minnick and maybe to Winkle and the 8 of Chris Dodd. Off corner number 4 they come. Dodd and, I should say Winkle and Norman and Minnick side by side. Now Dunham hooks up with Dylan Young to go for the lead in turn number 1. But Perry has that high side hook to his advantage here. But I don't think Dunham and Young are done yet. Young goes inside, tries to power pass the 7 car of Cole Deaver. That's for second place. Laps averaging at over 184 miles per hour on this racetrack, some at over 185. Bryant stuck to the high side. Now Zach Winkle and Jessica Shelton hooking up. The 11 and the 9, a pair of Fords going at it, and you got a Ford right in front of those two with JT Bryant in the 10 machine, and then a 4th Ford hooking in there with a 21 of Quentin Moore, and Quentin Moore started in about near middle of the field, and he's worked his way up very nicely. So Quentin Moore, who took the victory over at Michigan, looking strong in the mid stages of this race here. So we have now 21 in the books and 20 laps to go here in Kentucky. It's been Andrew Perry leading this race here, the man who won last season's AC Delco 400 down at Rockingham. But Cole Deaver, he wants that first one of the season. Here comes Deaver to the inside for the lead. In turn 3 and 4, that's where some people have been getting their runs come out of that turn, or going into that turn. But again, Andrew Perry showing the strength under the hood of that 5 car. But Cole Deaver's not giving up in that 7 car just yet, even though Dylan Young does have the push, or does push Perry, I should say, past the 7 of Deaver. And now Trent Dunham goes to the inside in the 1 car. Zach Winkle joins in on the mix in the 11 car. Remember, he and Shelton were battling it out a minute ago. And now Dylan Young wants to go for the lead in the 2 car. But again, Andrew Perry will not surrender. And now Cole Deaver wants to go 3 wide in the 7 machine here. 3 wide for the lead. Deaver on the inside, Perry on the outside, Young in the middle. Who has the lead as they go into turn 3? Young's got about a slight advantage. Going into the 3rd turn, dips down, and he has the lead. Dylan Young, car number 2. But Perry has been getting runs on the outside of the track. Deaver goes inside. Who leads this lap? Dylan Young does. So now Dylan Young, when the number 2 car takes the lead here with now 17 laps to go in this race. Now can Perry get back by him? A gaggle of cars are racing for the win here at Kentucky Speedway. Dylan Young, darn pace car. Dylan Young, Andrew Perry, Cole Deaver, Zach Winkle, Trent Dunham, JT Bryant, Jessica Shelton, Quentin Moore in the 21, Joshua Osborne 17. They're all getting into this mix here. Michael Norman slides back a little bit in the 3 car. Joshua Sakuli goes by him. Now Sakuli wants to join in on the fun. Dunham goes the high side. Minnick just about not enough room between he and Dunham squeezed between Minnick and Shelton. And now Osborne goes the high side of the racetrack now as they come out turn number 4. And Andrew Perry wants back by Young. Lap car up ahead. I think that's Kev Shear and Matt Dallio. On board Andrew Perry's car. Let's see what's going to happen when they get to the lap traffic here. Young, I think, is going to die. No, Young's going to stick to the out. It's going to stay behind. Young says, screw it, I'm going inside of both of you. Andrew Perry's left behind a little bit. Now Cole Deaver and Quentin Moore. They dive inside of Perry. Shelton tries to go inside as well. Deaver throws the block on Andrew Perry. Now Deaver goes to second. Here comes Quentin Moore to the inside for second spot. He's got Shelton pushing him. Or does Shelton go 3 wide? Yes, Shelton goes... Oh no, they go 4 wide. Almost 4 wide out of turn number 4. And Shelton and Moore both pay the price on that one here. And now... Deaver and Perry remain second and third. And it's now Perry back to second and Deaver back to third. But this is far from over yet. We're coming up on 10 laps to go. We'll be 11 this time by, I should say. But Dylan Young, who won at Rockingham this season, having a solid run here today at Kentucky. Checking in the back, checking it up through the field here. Dawson Wise inside of John Arndt. Charles Sanford, 24, going by him. Now Kyle Matthews diving inside of Ryan George. In the 30 car here, 22, Sky Commons, who led the points a couple of races ago after Michigan. Zachary Fitzwater inside of Jeremy Jones in the 14 car. Chris Dallerton, 55, trying to work his way through the field. JT Bryant has slid back all the way back to about the middle of the back of the pack. As Dallerton, who won at Riverside, looking pretty strong looking okay at the moment. As he tries to hook up with the 14 car of Jeremy Jones. And now they try to go by the cars of Zachary Fitzwater, Daniel Olson in back there as well, Seth Cole, Zed Weinstein, Nick Johnson, John Gilbert, and there's the sponsors car, the race sponsors car I should say, Chelsea Bowles in the Quaker State Buick. And much to the race sponsors' dismay, the car is running in 28th position. See where she's running at this time by. As she throws the block on John Gilbert in the 33 car. Bowles running in the 28th spot. As I said, much to the race sponsors' dismay, Dalton Day right behind Amari Stoudemire Jr. Racing with Levi McIntyre and Keith Batson, and another Kentuckian one Kentuckian having a disappointing day, Dylan Poteet, who's won at this track before here in the Castrol GTX Cup Series. He is running right now in 35th position, trying to hold off the challenge of Cole Baker. Matt Dalio and Kev Shear, Joshua Collard and Johnny Gardner anchoring the pack. Field coming down for 6 laps to go. Dylan Young out in front. Second is Andrew Perry. Third, Quentin Moore. Fourth is Cole Deaver. Trent Dunham running in 5th position. 6th is Joshua Osborne. 7th, Jessica Shelton. 8th is now Zach Winkle as he gets around Joshua Sakuli, who runs in 9th and 10th position is Paul Minnick, who goes inside tries to go inside of Sakuli for the 9th spot. Chris Dodd in 10th. 11th is Michael Norman. 12th, Charles Sanford. No, Dodd's running 11th. 12th is Norman. 13th is Sanford. 14th is Dawson Wise. 15th right now is John Arndt. 16th is Kyle Matthews. Ryan George 17th. 18th Sky Commons. 19th Jeremy Jones. 20th is Zachary Fitzwater. And some shuffling going on to the inside lane here. Here comes Osborne going inside of Trent Dunham for position. And Osborne takes the spot. He'll follow Cole Deaver. Shelton will follow Osborne. But Trent Dunham has that lane working to his advantage on the outside. Now Shelton decides he wants to go with Dunham. That's going to open the door for the 11 of Zach Winkle. And now Here comes Andrew Perry to the outside of the track there. Tries to go to the outside of Young. Try to get a run at him with now 3 laps to go in the race. Here comes Perry to the inside of Young. But Dylan Young says, no way, Jose, and he'll keep the lead. And now Quentin Moore wants to go to the outside, and now Quentin goes for second place. And Quentin may make that move easily. Yes, he does. And Quentin's proves that outside lane is the better lane. With now 2 laps to go, Quentin Moore wants to go for the lead. That's why Andrew made the little mistake the last time. But Quentin, I think, seems to be able to stay alongside there. Perry tries to get up alongside. Nope. These two may hook up a draft, though. However, this isn't over yet. As I said, the white flag waves this time by. Can Dylan Young hold them all off one more lap? Perry goes inside of Quentin Moore again for the number 2 spot rather. Moore goes up the track. He's got the high side. As they go down to the third turn now, what's Quentin gonna do? Into turn 3 now. Moore goes to the high side of the track here. Perry goes down low of Quentin Moore, and that's going to be all she wrote. Out of turn number 4, the Quaker State 400 belongs to car number 2, the Miller Genuine Draft Ford. Dylan Young wins at Kentucky. Dylan Young, the number 2 Miller Genuine Draft Ford, takes the victory here today at Kentucky Speedway in the Quaker State 400. Second place to Quentin Moore. Third, Andrew Perry. Fourth, Cole Deaver. Trent Dunham, 5th. 6th was Joshua Osborne. One of the Kentuckians at least had a good run here today. In the 6th position, Jessica Shelton coming home in 7th. 8th is Joshua Sekuli. Paul Minnick, 9th. And the 10th position was the car Zach Winkle. Average speed 156.051 miles per hour. As we look at the rest of the field order for you here, Charles Sanford coming home in 11th position, Chris Dodd 12th, 13th John Arndt, Dawson Wise 14th, Kyle Matthews 15th, Michael Norman, Sky Cummins, Ryan George, Jeremy Jones, and Zed Weinstein the top 20 in today's event. Chris Dollerton 21st, Zachary Fitzwater, JT Bryant, Seth Cole, Chelsea Bowles, Jesse Turner, Nick Johnson, Daniel Olson, Dalton Day, and Amari Stoudemire Jr. the top 30. Then Jonathan Zorlin, John Gilbert, Keith Batson, Levi McIntyre, Dylan Poteet. A disappointing run for those 3 drivers, Batson, McIntyre, and Poteet. Then Cole Baker, Joshua Collard, a disappointing day after getting involved in a crash here. He, Johnny Gardner, Matt Dallio, and Kev Shearer, and Benjamin Miles. A disappointing day for those 5 drivers here. Benjamin Miles was the only car out of the race with the camshaft problem. Dallio and Shearer both finishing not on the lead lap, which of course Johnny Gardner was the last car on the lead lap in 38th position, but for all intents and purposes was not really a factor. After the spin, he and Collard as well. So our congratulations once again for the 2nd time this season. Dylan Young takes home the victory in the Castrol GTX Cup Series as he wins the Quaker State 400 here at Kentucky Speedway. Next up on the tour will be the mid-season classic Daytona International Speedway and the Pepsi 400s. It's always a great race when those cars go to the World Center of Racing. So if you like what you see here, be sure to subscribe to the NNSCRA Sports and Gaming channel. You never know what you're going to find here in our Telstra races, gaming, whatever we desire on this channel. So until then, this is James Qualls. This has been a production of the NNSCRA, celebrating 5 years of offline racing at its best.